It is 2018 and there are teenage boys, kids younger than 18, there is children taking steroids and performance enhancing drugs and they don't even know they're taking them. Alright, what is up guys? It is Boone. Today I'm not going to necessarily be very motivational and happy as per usual because I did not want to have to make this video, but this is something that really needs to be talked about, especially in light of recent events. Something happened to me last night. I'm going to explain it to you in detail and use this as an example of how messed up the supplement industry within the entire fitness community as a whole is, and how despite we have such access to so much information, we still choose to be ignorant and make irresponsible decisions. So just last night, I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed and I see a kid that I'm following post a little progress, and I looked at his proportions and it just seemed off to me. He didn't have very much muscle maturity, but the arms and shoulders were just crazy full, and in all honesty, I looked at his nipples and he had gyno, which is, you know, a side effect of steroid use. It's what people loosely refer to as bitch tits. So I look at the caption of this and it says, blah, 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 thank you to my sponsor at blah, blah, blah. These supplements are helping me do this and that. I'm not going to name the company just to be mature. I wish I could, but I don't really want to target them despite what I see as an immoral practice. So I click on this company's page and the first thing I see is a picture called Mass Pills, and I click on it and it says like SARM DHEA blend. So I'm not going to go into a huge talk over this, but essentially SARMs, selective androgenic receptor modulators. There's a lot of talk about them. Essentially, they're becoming scheduled controlled substances very soon, just like steroids are. And DHEA stands for dihydroepiandrosterone. And essentially, derivatives of this, such as 1-andro, 4-andro, epiandro, convert to steroids inside your body, such as 1-testosterone, testosterone, and DHT itself. So I decided to comment on this kid's picture because he's 18 years old, and I was like, are you really using these SARMs and prohormones? And he says, yeah, I am. I'm taking their mass pills, bro. I highly recommend, but I'm not taking the prohormones. First of all, that's just wrong because the mass pills are the prohormones. They're the one with the DHEA derivatives in it. So I told him that straight up. The mass pills are prohormones. They're DHEA derivatives. And because he just suggested them to me, I said, I can't take them. I'm natty and drug tested for powerlifting because I compete in the US APL. And he responded, grammatical errors and all, but they're not steroids, bro. They're legal, LOL. To which I would just like to remind you, things like Superdrol and epistane, which were literally straight up steroids, were legal before the Designer Steroid Act of whatever years, like 2014. And here's where I kind of lost it. The kid also responded before I could say anything else. Also, I'm natty too, so IDK, what's your point? So the kid literally just straight up said he's using not just one class of performance enhancing drugs, but two at once, proceeded to call himself natty and said, they're not steroids, bro. So I was like, oh god, this is just a mess of information. He literally has no idea what he's doing. Like, somebody needs to help him. So I wasn't going to ridicule him at this point. I was trying to help him. I told him I respect the work that he's putting in or whatever, but he has some learning to do. I said what these DHEA derivatives, 1-andro, 4-andro, and epiandro, convert to steroids within your body. That's literally why they are called prohormones. Your body converts them into hormones, into steroids essentially. So I said, you're not natty, you're taking literal drugs, because he is. And despite taking any of my advice trying to help him, he responded, LOL, bro, again, I'm not taking prohormones, several laughing emojis. And here's the part that made me kind of lose my cool a little bit. This kid, this 18-year-old with no experience, no knowledge of what he's putting into his body, and on performance-enhancing drugs, has the audacity to tell me, I think you're the one who needs to do the learning, because I'm putting in the work. You're right. And then proceeds to say, just because I'm taking SARMs doesn't mean anything. Prohormones, on the other hand, yeah, I'd never deny it. Again, I'm not taking them. So I've told him straight up 3 times, you are taking prohormones. So I told the kid, I'm the one who needs learning. You just said you're taking the mass pills. The mass pills are DHEA derivatives, which are prohormones. I don't know how much more clear I can be. So he said, did you even read the nutrition facts that it has, LOL? So now I would like to invite you, the viewers, to look at the front of the label of the mass pills. Does that say SARM/DHEA in all capital letters on the front of the label in plain sight? I think so too. Also in this comment, the kid says, I am natty, and the most natty person you'll ever meet. This kid had the fucking balls to say that he is on 2 classes of performance enhancing drugs and still the most natty you will ever meet. Oh my God. And then he throws in more attitude, more ridicule. If you don't believe that, then you just can't come to the fact I'm actually putting in the work instead of you. And he just goes all big dick mode and goes, keep throwing the stones, I'll pick them right up and build an empire. Trust me. So the kid adds a new facet to the argument. He says, also your own body produces DHEA, bro. So like WTF, how am I not even natural when even your body produces it? Then no one's natty. 8 laughing emojis. So I just thought to myself like, holy shit, does he realize testosterone is the most common performance enhancing drug banned by doping organizations across the entire world, but your body creates it? I literally just cannot understand for the life of me. But this kid aside, I was just thinking the big problem in this situation is this kid is probably just an isolated incident. This can't be the only kid in the world who doesn't know what he's doing. There has to be tons others out there. If you think about it, this kid thinks he knows enough to like start a fitness page and share information with people. And if you're this ignorant about general like supplementation, training, hormones, anything like that, then think about how little the kids who don't have fitness pages and aren't trying to share information. They probably know nothing. They will take anything given to them. And that's where I think these shady supplement companies are in the extreme wrong. I would love to say the brand name that's doing this, because I think this is one of the shadiest things possible, to give supplements or, you know, promote them to an 18-year-old kid whose endocrine system is like 7 years away from full development. And the problem is, if he's taking them himself and he's like a sponsor or rep for that company or whatever, guess what he's going to do to all of his 18-year-old buddies, his 17-year-old buddies? They're kids, and he's gonna say, hey, take these mass pills, look at how big I'm getting. And next thing you know, you have all these teenage boys who aren't even close to being done developing, and they're all taking performance enhancing drugs. Listen, if you're a teenage boy and you're watching this video, I just want you to understand one simple thing, and that is your testosterone levels are literally stupidly high. So what happens is if you put exogenous hormones into your body, suppressive systems, things that will stop your HPTA system from working, you will not only lower your natural testosterone production, but I mean, even though there's a chance that you'll recover, some people argue that some of these drugs like don't suppress it too much, you're still causing suppression of these hormones, and your body might not recover. And what happens if you're like 19 or 20 years old and you have low testosterone? Well, guess what? You're not going to be building any muscle, because testosterone is literally one of the things that helps young men put on muscle mass and strength so quickly. So I guess the big thing I'm trying to say is, if you are ever going to put something into your body, please, please be cognizant of what it is. Don't be too pompous, don't be too ignorant, don't believe yourself if somebody is, you know, more experienced or they know what they're talking about, they've been in the gym 8 or 9 years, they actually know what they're doing. If they try to give you some advice, think, what would they benefit from it? It doesn't come down to anything superficial or something that will directly benefit me. It's because we want to genuinely help you if we're telling you something like this. So yeah, this is definitely alarming. I think it is incredibly shitty that supplement companies out there are selling soon to be scheduled substances mixed with, you know, suppressive DHEA derivative prohormones to anybody. Anybody can easily access them. A 16-year-old kid could use his mom's credit card online, get it shipped to his house, be like, oh yeah, it's new pre-workout, it helps me get a pump. Next thing you know, you have a 16-year-old kid with huge gyno and he throws on 25 pounds in 4 weeks and tells everybody, oh yeah, it's just the creatine monohydrate. Just because you can buy something or use something doesn't mean you should. It doesn't mean it's good for you, it doesn't mean it's going to help you. And if you know nothing about it, then you shouldn't be, first of all, taking it yourself, but you shouldn't be telling other people to take it either. It's just absolutely wrong. So I just really want to get word out of all this shit happening, because honestly, it's very messed up. I think some of these supplement companies are in the extreme wrong. People using them are in the extreme wrong. How they're marketed is not only just shady, but it's actually flat out dangerous, and kids are seriously going to harm themselves or hurt themselves. So please just, you know, even if you don't share my video or anything, just spread this message to people, you know, people who you think it might impact. My name is Brandon Boone. I understand what I'm putting into my body. I'm proud to be natural. Please subscribe for more content. Thank you guys.